What's up, Aaron?
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How's your day going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
It's going amazing, man. Just moved into Austin, Texas, building the remote lifestyle vision, and super happy to be talking with you today. I know that you have a lot of nurses that are burnt out. I know that because I've already chatted with a few of your clients last week that are looking to get into remote work. And so you can kind of describe kind of how you found me. And then I think you have a few questions that probably your students are thinking about as well, so that I can actually answer them so that everyone kind of is aware of what's going on, what Daniel and I are doing in this partnership. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. So Aaron and I actually got connected on via the online space and social media because we actually had the same business mentor, right? We're part of the same like business coaching program. So we started following each other for a while. Ironically, we ended up moving to the same city. Originally Aaron's from Toronto. I'm from Dallas. We both eventually moved to Austin, which is a great city for young entrepreneurs. And eventually met in person, got to find out that he wasn't, a CGI person or like a deep fake of someone online. So that was cool. And then fast forward, like a whole year later, um, got connected again because he messaged me. I was like, what does this guy want? And you actually introduced the idea of appointment setting for nurses. You asked me what I thought of it. And I had actually never thought of that before, right? Because it's something that I did on my own, but I wasn't sure if it was something that would be appealing to other nurses, right? Because it's just so out of her wheelhouse. So I thought about it. I was like, dude, this is actually a really good idea. I can't believe I never even thought about it, right? There's so many nurses that are burnt out, wanting to leave the hospital. And I thought, hey, this might be a great opportunity for that.
Absolutely. And I know like there's people watching this because, Daniel's already been chatting with a few of you and you're like, is it a pyramid scheme? Seems suspicious, seems sketchy, making money online, everything's a
Yeah.
scam. And like Daniel and I know for me, for sure, I definitely used to think that as well. And honestly, if you go into this with the mindset of I need to make money as quickly as possible, it is going to be a scam for you. Because if you have the mind, just like with personal finance, if you go in with the mindset of, there's going to be some hack and I'm going to pay off all my student loans overnight. It's not really how it works. It's more about creating systems and creating the right lifestyle that you're living within your means. You're not inflating your lifestyle, and you're able to serve people. And the thing I love about appointment setting, really all it is a title, right? At the end of the day, what I'm doing at Master Study University is helping people communicate at a high level and helping them deliver the same outcome that nurses are delivering, right? At the end of the day, nursing is you're working in the healthcare industry, right? You're already appointment setting. This is what people don't realize. Like, I got to learn this new skill. I got to save, I got to block out time. All it is shifting your current activity on social media in a way that serves people. And I've had nurses that get placed with fitness coaches, like female fitness coaches that are teaching nutrition, teaching proper gut health, teaching how to exercise properly. And a lot of the time, it's things that are like preventative, because I know, like, I've chatted with nurses, they're burnt out because they're seeing people on the verge of death all day long. And it's like, it's horrible. And it'd almost be better to, like, as an appointment setter, you'd be able to work within a coaching business where, like, Daniel does personal finance, but the fitness coaching industry is massive, right? And I know a few nurses probably watching this have probably seen fitness coaches on Instagram. They've seen like here's how to get abs, here's how to tone yourself, all that stuff. And all this role is you're working within a business to help scale and help grow that fitness coaching business. And so that's actually what an appointment setter does. You're booking appointments to either speak with the influencer that you're working with. We work with many fitness coaches like Suzanne Galuzzo. I work with a guy named Vince Del Monte who has legions of fitness coaches. And for a lot of these people, like, they're running an online business. They're making like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month or more. One of my business partners, Grego Gallagher, runs Kino Body, and they have a female department. He makes over $1 million a month with supplements and online coaching. And so really that's the kind of mindset you have to have going into it, that this is going to be an educational process. And that first and foremost, you're going to learn this skill set. So Daniel, does that kind of make sense?
Absolutely. So this all sounds good, right? Because a lot of nurses, they love the idea of working from home, especially moving to the online space where they don't have to be in the hospital, where they really don't want to be, because a lot of them feel burnt out, right? So everyone loves the idea of making money typing messages on your phone, right? Which essentially is what appointment setting is. At the same time, just making this transition to working from home with appointment setting, like the concept is so green to a lot of us. A lot of us don't even know exactly what appointment setting is, how to get started, or just even like the slightest clue on what it is. So, yeah, do you mind walking us through what it is and like the day to day and what it looks like?
Exactly. And so really like the way it works as an appointment setter in most cases is you'll be logged into the Instagram account or Facebook account of a big influencer. So for example, I'll use one of my partners, Susan, as an example. She runs a fitness coaching company for women. I have actually placed people, I've gotten people hired with her. So she has a big audience, lots of followers. And her whole thing is helping women with nutrition. And she's a hormone expert, online transformation coach. Her
Mhm.
program is a few $1,000s. At the time I was talking with her, I think it was like $3,000 or $4,000. And because it's so expensive and she's selling it online, she needs to have appointment setters that are chatting with her prospects, right? Because there's 26,000 people following her and she's only one person. So she can't actually chat with every single individual person in her audience.
Right.
It's the same thing as, and ultimately at the end of the day, the best appointment setters are just coaches. This is why I say, like, for a lot of nurses, I know a lot of nurses have like a background in healthcare, fitness, working on themselves, self-improvement. And so a lot of you guys have some sort of fitness journey that you had. And by working with an already established fitness coaching company, it's really not that different than being a nurse because you're serving people, you're setting up appointments. Think of Susan as like, if you're a nurse, then correct me if I'm wrong, Daniel, but usually you're like working with a doctor and you're kind of like doctor's assistant kind of thing.
Mhm.
Very similar
Yeah.
to, whereas your doctor, quote unquote, is the business owner you're working with. It's a very similar dynamic to that. Really, the only difference is that you're able to do that in a digital capacity through social media because of how much attention there is on it. And like Susan makes 50 grand a month. And so if you're able to book, if you're able to set appointments for her into her calendar, and you're saving her time, she's going to be willing to pay you, a combination of whether it's like, $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and then commissions for calls that you're booking in that she's able to close. Like,
Mhm.
it's definitely like I've seen this happen before, and it's really just kind of understanding how that works.
Yeah, yeah, you made a great point. So, like you mentioned at the beginning, all of us as nurses, we come into it because we want to serve other people, right? We want to make a positive impact into other people's lives.
Yep.
And thing is, there's a lot of different ways to impact people, make a positive change, right? So having the ability to choose a business owner whose values and vision aligns with yours, and you're able to get other people to, join that program or, get be a part of that community, it really does change their life, right? So that's the thing is you have to pick and choose who you want to work with, how much time you want to work, with this person that really aligns with the person that really aligns with your values. So I think this is a great opportunity here to, grow professionally, develop certain skills outside the hospital so that you don't have to stay stuck, working a job that you don't like for the next 30, 40 plus years. I know burnout's a big thing with nursing. And that's why I see this as a huge opportunity because, yes, that's about personal finances and investing, but that's a long-term thing. With something like this, you could attain that high income skill and almost immediately replace your nursing income right off the bat, right? You don't have to invest for the next, 20 years and then start seeing some return on investment with that, right?
Mm.
So I know this sounds like very appealing to a lot of nurses, but I think a big thing that a lot of us are concerned about are those like the logistics surrounding it because they work full time. They have to make ends meet. So for someone that is already working full time right now as a nurse at the hospital, how do they go about, setting aside the time necessary to make this transition into the training and like working as an appointment setter, whether that's part-time or even full-time?
Yeah, that's a great point. And the only thing I have to say to that is if you're watching this on your phone right now, go to your settings on your phone and I'll actually open it up for you so you can see. So on your phone, go to your settings, this button if you're on an iPhone, scroll down to something called screen time, and then you can actually see all activity and you'll be able to see where you spend all your time. So you can see my daily average is about 3 hours per day. 3 hours per day, considering I run a 7-figure business and I spend 3 hours per day on my phone. A lot more on my laptop, obviously, but 3 hours per day. You can see Instagram is the highest one by far. Doing this role is not about adding a new thing onto your life. Check your phone and see how much time do you spend on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, maybe your text messages, your iMessage, on the phone with your friends and family. This is not about adding a new role. You do not want to think as an employee and like, I got to pick up more shifts with appointment setting. That's not how it works. What you are doing is you are shifting your current behavior to be less of a consumer of social media and more of a creator. Because at the end of the day, when you're typing messages with prospects, you are creating content in the same way Daniel is posting this video right now. Like this video, and as you guys are watching this, is appointment setting. We are sending you all of you a mass message in video form of how this works and ultimately helping you guys live the lifestyle that you want to live. And so that's kind of like the day to day, right? It's you're typing messages, you're creating content, you're hopping on calls with people at a really core basis. You're typing messages inside the Instagram DMs or Facebook, wherever the business owner is very active and is posting content, because that's where people are coming in. Similar to the way you probably signed up for Daniel's program or chatted with him, right? You're in his DMs or you hopped on a Zoom call with him. It's exactly the same thing as that, except you can work in any online business you'd like. And I especially recommend for nurses working in the fitness space, in the healthcare space, because that's something you already fundamentally understand. And it's something that you're going to be able to help people with at the end of the day.
Right. So I know for a lot of nurses, they're pretty busy, right? They work full time, they might have a family. Some of them might even be back in school for their masters, right? So for the people that, want to get into appointment setting, but they might be afraid that they don't have the time because they're just so busy. Is this something that they can realistically make time for?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Like when I started doing this, I was in flight school. So I was training to be a pilot, which is also like shift schedule, very demanding job. And I had, flights that I was going out to when I was in flight school. And I started this on my own. I was doing it like, 5-10 hours a week, really just instead of spending time scrolling on Instagram, I was hopping on calls with people, right? Like I said, check your screen time and like understand how much time you actually spend on these apps, and you'll see that you actually do have the time. You just need to reallocate where you're spending your time. It's just prioritizing, right? So absolutely you can do it. Have the expectation that the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, right? Are you going to make, 100 grand a month spending an hour a week? Maybe it's possible, but like realistically, probably not. It's going to be a lot harder than you think, and it's going to take a lot longer than you think. And that's why I actually put together my company's new initiative. It's called Master Study University, Your Path to Remote Work. We'll put the link down below, and Daniel can share that. It's a completely free portal that it looks like this, where you're going to literally, it's going to give you all of the basic introductions of what you need to get started with this. Okay. So with an introduction from me, I talk a lot about health as well and personal performance and sleeping properly, eating properly. So I'm big on that. You can get access to that as well. But you'll be able to create your own remote scheduling link. And so Daniel and I are on Zoom right now, and we use a software called Calendly. You may have used it when you actually booked a call with Daniel to speak with him. And you'll also you'll be able to apply to our hiring marketplace. And so like Susan that you just saw earlier and other fitness coaches come to me looking to hire team members for their team to grow their online business, appointment setters, coaches, or anything like that. And so you'll be given the opportunity to apply inside here, put what your experience is. And then most importantly is you can actually see if this is right for you. What we have set up here is called MSU Connect. And inside here, you're actually going to be able to click on this link and book a role play call, which is what we just call a connect call, meet other people, and you can actually meet other students inside the university. Okay. And so as you can see, everyone's kind of created their own Calendly link. You can also text people. You can also message people on Instagram. And you can see like what everyone's kind of doing. Where they went to school, what they're currently up to. And we have a lot of students that are working actively as appointment setters in here, a whole list. We have other nurses in here. We have other people in school. And so this should give you a really good taste of kind of what it's like to be an appointment setter, because you can be an appointment setter today. And then if you want to work with us in the future, we do have a more partnership style program with myself and my team where we can actually, hop on one-on-one calls with you and make sure that you're progressing, make sure that you're working towards the lifestyle you want. So that's kind of how it works. In case you're wondering, like, how much is it? It's free. You have to qualify to work with us.
That's a good point. And guys, just so you know, like this whole partnership thing between me and Aaron, this is all very new for me. Right. I mean, over the years of running my business, I mean, it's been a little bit over 2 years now. I've gotten dozens of emails and inquiries from other companies and businesses trying to get me to like form a brand sponsorship or brand deal with them, right? Essentially just trying to pay me money to advertise their products or their services. But I'm very intentional about the things that I post, the things that I put out there for my audience, because if I don't have strong conviction that it's going to provide you with immense value, right? Something that I feel like is trustworthy, I'm just not going to do it. Right? I might make some money in the short term, but the long term, I think that's horrible for your reputation. Within the game of business, reputation is everything, right? If you promote something that's trash, people just aren't going to trust you anymore. And you're not really going to be around, right? All you really have is trust. So whenever Aaron came to me and he was like, "Hey man, what do you think about appointment setting for nurses?" Right? It wasn't something I jumped right on like right away. I actually had to think about it over the weekend, spend a few days. I was like, "Hey Aaron, can you put me inside your training program? Can you put me inside your community?" So I went through all of those things. Went through the training, was inside his community. We scheduled like several Zoom calls to talk about it. Right. So I definitely did my homework. Um, Needless to say, it's very impressive, right? Very impressive. The community is super robust. The actual content within the training program is A1 to the point, so much value there. And guys, just most importantly, Aaron I mean, he's a genuinely good guy, right? And he's one of the most generous people that I know, right? You don't even have to take my word for it. Just follow him on Instagram for like a week or so, and you'll see the type of person that he is, the way that he conducts himself, right? So for me, it was a no-brainer, right? Seeing the product, also the type of person that he is, more than happy to vouch for him and vouch for his service. And in terms of like my endorsement, that's not something I take lightly, but I just believe in Aaron that much.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And again, like, this is maybe not, it won't be for everyone. Like I said, like I'm also pretty selective on who I work with. I've helped hire, hundreds of people at this point, nurses, teachers, corporate America workers. If you decide that you want to go through this and then you end up booking a call with me, you'll also see I have, I've helped people that got laid off from like Roku and Google, like all the tech layoffs, had 45, even I even helped my own mother do this. Like I've literally helped my own mom who's 50 years old work remotely. She like lives in like rural Canada, like north, like in Ontario. So I've worked with like every age, every person, but I really especially love working with nurses and people that are kind of in the healthcare space, because I think that there's so much opportunity to work in preventative care rather than like when people are on their deathbed. And obviously we need people everywhere, but like I want to live in a society where people actually care about their health and people that are treating their bodies with respect. I think that would lead to less burnout in nursing as well if it was more around healthy lifestyle and people taking care of their bodies. And I think this is a really awesome opportunity, more than the money, right? Like, yes, you can make money with this, but if you're a nurse, it's likely you're already making money. So the reason you would do this wouldn't be for the money anyways. Right. It would be because you want to serve people in a way that's in a way that's more in alignment with the lifestyle you want and ultimately the impact you want to have on the world.
Yeah, absolutely. So for anyone that's like super interested in getting to appointment setting and maybe even in the future, like working with you, what would you say are the next steps?
Yeah, next steps for sure is click the link below to get access to the Path to Remote Work portal. You can go through that, especially complete the first 5 things, and then you can go through the trainings. The trainings are with myself and my business partner, Patrick Langus. He was my first client a little over a year ago. And then from there, if you want to speak with me or my team, Daniel will be able to chat with you on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're at. We'll hop on a call. We'll see if this is the right fit for you. Again, like I said, the only thing we sell, quote unquote, is the actual consulting implementation. Like if you want to just learn this skill and do it on your own, you're totally welcome to do that. I encourage you to do this on your own, especially as you're getting started. But you know, it's just like, you know, you can watch YouTube videos about personal finance, or you can pay Daniel to actually get an expedited budget and plan set out, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, no one's trying to like pressure you or force you to buy like my program or Aaron's program, because we both give a lot of things out for free, right? If you want to take those free resources and learn it on your own and be successful on your own, there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're going to go through this process of learning about personal finances, learning about appointment setting, and trying to get the results from it, you're going to pay either way, right? If you decide to try to like learn on your own, go through this journey on your own, you're not going to pay with money. You're going to pay with time, right? If you decide to work with me or Aaron to achieve your goals, you're going to pay with money and you're going to save time, right? There's nothing wrong with either of those options, right? It's entirely up to you. So ultimately, if you decide to invest into a coach, whether it's one of us or anyone else, right? You're just making the conscious decision to pay with your money so that you can save time, right? And just make it a bit more efficient. If you don't want to do that, that's okay, right? But I'm just going to reiterate this again. So if you haven't already, please follow Aaron on Instagram because he provides a ton of free content on a very consistent basis. I mean, you post content every single day, right?
Every single day, sometimes more than once a day. You can follow me at the Aaron Sirota. We're developing quite a nice audience on there. I share all kinds of value around, you know, lifestyle, working remotely, a lot of mindset stuff around like, you know, I'm a huge proponent of living under your means. I believe that especially when you're working remotely, if you can, like, I'm in an apartment right now, like I run a 7-figure business. I'm still paying $2,000 a month for rent. Like I haven't bought a Lambo. This watch is $100. Like I don't buy crazy stuff. I think that's another reason why, you know, Daniel trusts me more, because I'm not like the traditional guru that's just, you know, closing 5K, selling a course for $5,000 and then buying a Lambo, right? I have friends that are like that, but that just repels me, the idea of doing that. It's not fun, right? It's like I have everything I need.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even have a car and he wears like the
I
same
don't even
black shirt every single day.
I don't even own a car. I used to. I sold my car. I don't even have a car anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that just shows where Aaron's priorities are. And just to kind of wrap this up, just want to say, Aaron, thank you so much for taking the time out and talking to nurses about appointment setting. I don't think it's a secret to any nurses out there that right now there's a mass exodus of nurses leaving the profession because it no longer aligns with their values, right? So I think a lot of us as nurses are just looking to make a career change where we get to impact people in a way that we really want to. And I think getting to appointment setting in that way is going to be a game changer for a lot of us.
I mean, for people that get into nurses, like you guys probably got into nursing because you wanted to help people with their health, right?
Yeah.
And I believe this is where the healthcare industry is moving to. Like the fitness coaching industry goes on a tear every year. Like think about it. And if appointment setting sounds weird, think about yourself as a fitness coach or a healthcare. You already are, right? It's like it's really not even different than what you're doing right now. It's just you're doing it remotely instead of having to go to a physical hospital.
Yeah. So many different ways to impact people. It doesn't have to be in the hospital, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to work for an institution. I mean, working as an appointment setter, just anywhere in the online space where you work with a business owner that's like closely aligned with your values, you can more so directly impact people on your terms, right? You don't have a governing body like watching your every move, right? So ever since I've started working away from the hospital and like as a coach, back then as an appointment setter, I feel like I've been able to create more impact because it's more direct, right? And it's something that I truly believe in. I know a lot of us as nurses, we don't always truly, align with the Western model of medicine, right? Because it is like putting a band-aid. It's not preventative, right? But
Drugs,
once you,
prescriptions, like
uh,
all the stuff that's like, you know, side effects. Like I know this, my friend's on drugs all the time. He's always complaining. It's like, yeah, it solved one issue and then it created 10. You know what I mean?
yes, exactly. It's just the work that you're doing every single day. Is it actually getting you closer to the person that you want to be, or are you just working for the sake of making your next dollar? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. For sure. Well, yeah, Daniel, thanks for having me on. Again, yeah, click the link below if you want to, get started for free. See how it works, and then, we'll go from there.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
Stuff, man. Good stuff. Have a good one.
All right, man, take care.